Hey, how are you doing, and have you seen the latest MacBook M2 landing page? If you have, then you might have realized that there are animations that only play when you scroll. I don't know how they have done this, but probably it's most likely with the help of canvases by basically rendering sequence of images while you scroll. So we'll try and replicate this with the help of Gsap's Scrolltrigger and Gsap's animation library, and we'll just make a simple website that looks something like this. So, hey, how are you doing? This is WebDev here to make you a tad bit better in web development. If you are liking this content, then please don't forget to subscribe, and without any further ado, let's get started. So here this is a simple setup with index.html, style.css, app.js, and two of those videos that we are going to animate. These are not videos, these are sequence of images. You might be saying videos could have been more easier, but I don't know why with Gsap Scrolltrigger, but videos are quite laggy as well as the animation feels a bit more chunky. This is way more smoother. So that is the reason why we're doing this. If you have a way of doing it with videos, please let me know in the comment section down below, because that would be a lot more easier than using this. But regardless, let's get started. Now let's start by setting up our HTML by writing HTML:5. This will give us a beautiful template. Then change our title to food videography website. Then in the body tag we'll add a main section as well as a footer. Then inside the main we'll have a section in which we'll have h1 tag, which will write scroll down bro, and press Windows period to bring a down arrow. Let's hit save. Now in the footer let's add a paragraph, so a p tag, and write please buy our service. Then let's add a button which will write buy now. Now let's check it out, and it looks something like this. So now we will start by styling it. So first we need to link our style sheet, so write link up here in the head, link, and in the href just write // to get our style.css. I'm going to hit save, and let's go to style.css. I'm going to bring it next to our index.html. Now first of all we will reset our styling by writing asterisk, and inside the bracket write padding is equal to 0, margin is equal to 0, and then box sizing is border box. Then let's increase the size of our scroll down bro by writing h1 and give it a font size of 4rem. Let's make it like 8rem. So yeah, this is perfect. Now I want to add a font called Poppins. So in my website I'm just going to go to Google Fonts and search for Poppins, or any font you like, but for me Poppins feels really great. Now I'm going to basically just remove this all, and now select each and every font you want. I don't want the light one, so the thin one I don't want it. Extra light also I don't need it, so from the light I'm going to pick every font here. So once you have selected all of this, go to @import and then copy it like this, and just above your star paste it and save it. Now you have a font imported. So let's now apply this. We can do this by writing body and then font family of Poppins, and if we don't have that, we can have in a comma sans serif. So once we save this, if we go back here, you can see it's in a Poppin font. Now in the h1 I want it to be a certain weight, and these values, as you can see there, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 8, 9, these are some certain values, some certain weight of fonts. For example, 900 is black, 800 is extra bold, and so on. So I want my h1, which is the biggest title, to be black. So I'm going to write font weight is equal to 900. Go back to my website. It looks really great. Now we are going to style this section. So write section, and we'll give it a display of flex, so that we can basically, I want to basically center this div, right? Center it about here. So display flex, justify content center, and then align items center. Then we need our height of 100 view height. I'm going to save that. Now it's on the center. So this background, I'm going to change it into a color of wheat. So a background of weight. After doing this, let's add our canvases. So below our section, we'll add 2 canvases and give it a class of info and then an ID of demo video. So duplicate this and give the first one demo video 1 ID and the second one demo video 2. Then individually I'll just give it a simple style of and give it a background color of blue. Actually the first one will be brown and the second one exactly like this. I'm just going to copy this, put it here, and it will be royal blue. So let's see. Alright, this is fine. Now we need to basically make it big enough that it fills the entire screen. So in our CSS, let's go to our .info class and I will say width is 100% and similarly height is 100% as well. So now as you can see, we have 2 images where we will now start applying our programming. Now by the way, I forgot about the button, so I'm just going to style it here. Let's save it, and this is going to be our button for anything. So let's go to the next section, which is our coding. Now before we start coding, we will need to import Gsap Scrolltrigger with the help of cdn.js. So I'm going to go to the website, write cdn.js, cdn.js.com, and then search for Gsap. Click on the first option, then click here to copy the script tag. We need the gsap min.js as well as the gsap scrolltrigger.min.js. So first of all, I'm going to import this, copy this, go to your HTML and below your footer, paste it here. Save it, it will look something like this. It auto corrects because I have Prettier installed, so your might not do this. After that, we need Scrolltrigger. So I'm going to go down here, copy this, go here, and then Scrolltrigger, paste it, save it, and now it will look something like this. Now let's import our app.js. Now in here, before we start doing anything, we need to actually register this plugin. This is a plugin of our Gsap, so we need to register it so that we can use it with Gsap. So for that, all you need to do is write gsap.register plugin, and inside the bracket write Scrolltrigger. Let's hit save, and now we can get started. Now let's bring our demo video 1, this canvas, inside our script. So we can do that by writing const demo video 1 is equal to document.get element by id, and the element is our demo video 1. Now after we do this, let's bring in the info of our donut video. So I'm just going to write const demo video 1 info, which will be equal to a object, and inside the object, let's first of all write how many total frames we have, which you can just find it below here. So 440. We'll be needing that in the future. How long is the video? In your case, I don't know how long your videos will be, and if you're using this, then this donut is like 7 seconds. So I'm just going to write total time is 7. Now after that, we will need to take all of these individual images and we will have to put it inside a array. So let me create that array by writing images, and let's make it a empty array. We'll use that later. Then we need to basically manipulate the current frame, like which frame we are in according to how we scroll. So we can do that with current frame, which will be set to 0 by default. Now finally, I need to bring the links, the position and links of all of these individual images. So how I will do that is write current image is equal to, and let's make it a simple function which has an index, because we'll just call this function, put a number in this index, and according to that we'll get an individual image. We'll be using this later, so I'm just going to set it up right now. So let's make an anonymous function in which we will basically have backtick and write /, which means current directory, and now we need to go to the donut directory. So I'm just going to copy this donut, put it here. Then let me just copy for now just one of them. So copy back in our script, put it here. JPG. This is a JPG, by the way. So these are JPGs. Now, what we need to do is, in place of these numbers, we want to put in our index. For that, all I have to do is write an $sign and put a curly bracket in which I'll just write index. Now, if I want to access this, let me just save it for now. We need to do this. All right. So now let's test this by writing console.log demo video info dot current image, and inside the bracket I'm just going to write 10. Now it should give me a link which has donut10.jpg. all right. If I just save this, go into my website, as you can see, donut10. But if you realize something, let me just make it like this. If you realize something, if I go here, we don't have exactly a donut 10, we have a donut 010. So we have a 3-digit number. And if you have something like this, like a 3-digit number, then what you need to do is, first of all, convert this into a string. So to string, right, use that function. Then there's something called a pad start, which will basically take in 2 values. One is how many digits you want to make it. Let's say if I write 3, that means it will make it a 3-digit. And if you only have a 1-digit or a 2-digit number, what value do you want to put in front of it? And we can just write a 0 on that. The moment we do this, now if we go back, as you can see, 0, 1, 0, which is the exact image. So now let's try and import a image from here and then try and render it inside our canvas. The way we do that is, for now, just write a const image is equal to a new image. Now put the image.src is equal to demo video 1 info dot current image, and inside the bracket I'm going to give it the last frame. So I'm going to write 440. Hit save. Then let's write console.log image.src. Let's hit save, and if you go back, you'll have a perfect image. See, if I click on it, you will see the image. And to see if it is the actual image, as you can see, it is the actual image. Now we can render this image inside our canvas. For that, I need to get a context called 2D. So it's something like this: const demo video 1 context is equal to demo video 1, which is the canvas, dot get context, and inside I need to write 2D, small d. Now this will help us actually render a image inside our canvas. Now before we render a image, we need to set a canvas height and width. Now down here, write image.onload is equal to, and let's make a simple function in which we will basically write demo video 1 context, meaning context.draw image, and inside we need to put the image, which is our img, and then we need to give it a position, which is 0 as well as 0. If I just hit save, go back here, we'll see a image in place of our canvas. Now we're going to basically have a function that does this while we're scrolling down and up. So I'm just going to have a function called render, where we will basically have this demo. Its whole job is to just do this according to our image array's current frame. Demo video 1's info dot images, and we're gonna use our demo video info dot current frame. The function now looks something like this. Now I don't think we need this, so I'm just going to remove it. Now this will work, but at the moment we don't have anything inside our images, so I think it will give me an error. See, nothing is there. See, it's an error. We don't have any images here. So now we can fix that by using a for loop to push images inside our image array. So here's how we do that. So write for let I is equal to 0, I is less or equal to demo video info dot total frames, and then I plus plus, and inside we will basically create a image, then put in a link according to our value of I, and then push this image inside our frame each and every time, so that we get all of these images with this for loop. So write demo video info dot images dot push. Inside push we will basically be pushing our image. Now if I console.log my demo video's images, you will see all of these images as an array. Well, as you can see, it works. Now let's use Gsap Scrolltrigger to basically animate according to our scrolling. So now write gsap.to, and inside here we need a object that we can manipulate, which is going to be our demo video info. So I'm just going to put there, put a comma. Now this object is basically this object that we are going to manipulate. In here, what to does is basically takes you from wherever you are, from whatever position or frame or something you are, to any certain value that you provide. Meaning, if I write current frame is equal to demo video info dot total frames, hit save, then write on update and basically call our render function, and what will happen is, as you can see, it will give me the last frame. If I look into my console, you will see a lot of errors. The reason why is because it is gradually coming from 0 to 440. And by gradually, I mean it is going to 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, and so on. We do not want that because that does not work. That is why it's giving me an error like this. So down here, write snap, and inside a text, write current frame. So I'm just going to copy this, put a comma here, then save it. Now as you can see, you don't have any error, and if you realize something, just like instantly goes there, right? Instantly. It's instantly from the first frame to the last frame. So we want to change that, and we want it to happen only while we're scrolling. So for that, first of all, I'm just going to write an ease to none so that there won't be any easing. After that, we are going to use now scroll trigger. So write scroll trigger, and it's also a object. Now we need a trigger, something that will trigger our animation. So our trigger is going to be our demo video itself, meaning the canvas. And let me show you a marker. So now as you can see, when this guy, so now if I do this, when this guy touches this guy, as you can see animation whenever the scroller start touches our canvas's start. So we can actually change the position of these. For that, all you need to do is write start and put it on the top. When I save this, as you can see, the scroller start goes to the top. And now your animation only plays when the scroller start touches our start, like this. Great. The animation is playing according to whenever we scroll. Now we don't want to play the whole animation when this touches this, like this, but we want to do it while we're scrolling. We want the animation to play while we're scrolling, and that we can do that easily with the help of scrub. Just set scrub is equal to true. Put a comma here. Now your animation plays while you are scrolling. See? As you can see, it is moving. We don't want it to move until this animation ends. So for that, all you need to write is pin is equal to true. Now, the moment our scroller start touches our start, it gets pinned, and it won't end until we end the video. Then it goes down. Let's say this video is going too quickly, right? If you think this video is going too quickly, then what you can do is we can put our end position like we put our start position. Use end, and then use backtick, right bottom. That means our end will be in the bottom, and you can add a plus equal to, and in a $sign and curly bracket, take your demo videos info dot total frame and multiply it by your demo video infos dot total time. Once you do that, I'm going to put a comma here. I will just cross these two. All right, so that you guys can see it more properly. So once we do that, let me put a comma here, save it, and now as you can see, the scroller is already a little bit bigger, right? Scrolling, we can do a lot more scrolling now. If I just remove this again, if I remove this, save it, as you can see, scrolling is a little less. If I don't remove it, put it back here, it's a lot more. And this is exactly what we want. Now, finally, if you realize something, there is a problem. You don't see the image until our scroller start touches our start, right? Let's fix that. For that, all I need to do is just write demo video info dot images, and let's say the first image is equal to, and let's make a function. Oh, wait, first image dot onload is equal to, let's make a function that will basically do this. So I'm just going to copy this, paste it here, and just put a 0 instead of this. And now that will solve everything. Now, as you can see, plays, and then you go down to the other one. Now, this is all the function that we need to do. First of all, we need to import all of these images inside our this, then make the animation play only when we scroll. After that, load our first image, and then with the help of render, load every image according to our scroll. So if you think about it, we can make it into one function, and that will help us with another video as well. So before we do that, we're going to bring the info of our other video as well. So I'm just going to copy this, write demo video to info, and this one, if I have to open this one has 562 frames, so 562. This one lasts for 9 seconds, so 9 seconds, and everything else is almost the same. I just need to change these 2 letters. So I'm just going to go here, I'm going to F2 to copy this and then put it here, and I'm going to click here and F2 to copy this, and then instead of our donut, put that here and just remove these 3 numbers. So now that this is done, let me bring all of these down here, and now I'll make a function out of all of this. So a function called animate on scroll. Then I'm just going to copy all of this and then paste it here. Now what we need to do is we need to basically import our this demo video ID, right? So I'll put a parameter here called canvas ID, and that is what we will keep here instead of this. So canvas ID, and that is I can write a canvas here instead of writing demo video 1 canvas, and instead of writing demo video context, I can write canvas context. Then canvas's height and screen is according to this. Then we just import it through our demo video 1 info. Now we need to basically create a video info parameter as well, and we will do all of this importing videos, then basically manipulating the object and everything with the help of our video info. So remove all of this demo videos info with video info. So look carefully and remove all of this, replace all of this. And we are done. Now you can just call this function and everything will work perfectly. So let's try it out. I'm going to go down here and write animate on scroll. And now first of all, we need a canvas ID, then we need video info. So for canvas ID, let me go to my index.html, bring it on this side. So our first canvas is demo video 1. I'm going to copy that and put it here. Then our canvas info will be our demo video 1 info. I'm just going to copy that and then paste it here. Once I do that, hit save, go back to my website, and as you can see, everything works perfectly. By the way, if you do not need this, after you're done, you can just remove this by just commenting this out. So I'm just going to remove it, and yeah, it looks perfectly fine. Now the awesome thing is I can just make a duplicate of this, demo video 2 instead of demo video 1, and demo video 2's info instead of demo video 1 info, which is basically this. So if I save this, go back, so our first video plays, which is awesome, and then go down and our second video plays, which is also quite awesome. So now if you want a bit of smoothing, this is one last thing I'll teach you. If you want a bit of smoothing in your animation while you're doing this, if you don't want to go instantly like this and you just want a tiny bit of smoothing, you can put a number instead of true here. That means if I put like 4, the scroller will take 4 seconds to actually stop. Let me show you. So I'm just moving. It takes 4 seconds to actually stop. Maybe this might be quite cool. I'm just going to put it as, I don't know, 2 maybe. So let's see. Yeah, and it looks really cool for me. So now our main task is done. Let's do a bit of refining and let's finish up our website. Now, first of all, to clean up this code, all I will do is take this function, just cut it here, and this will just be a business logic where I put information of my video and then import my animate on scroll function. So for that, I'll just create a script called AnimeTone function. Then I'll paste it here. Then I need to call it in my index.html. So I'm just going to go to my index.html. Just before my app.js, I need to call my AnimeTone scroll.js. And now if you go to our video, yeah, everything still works perfectly. Let me just reload it. And yeah, everything still works perfectly. So now let's add some final amount of content and a bit of styling on that content, and our video is done. So just above our canvas, first canvas, I'll have a div called textinfo, where we'll have a h2, and I'll write some kind of a title. So this is our heading. I'll add an h3 for a subheading. Now a bit of information about the video. Then I'll have a button so that you can buy the service. And finally, we want to show the demo, so this demo video. So just write a span tag, just have a span tag, and write scroll down bro. And now this is it. So I'm just gonna copy this and then paste it just above our second video as well, and just change some title. Now after this, in our style.css, first of all, I'm going to set up styles for our h2, h3, and span, which is basically going to be exactly like our h1. So I'm just going to copy these 3 times and just replace the name. Now for the h2, our font size will be 4. For h3, our font size will be 2. And for span, it will be 1.5. Now h2 will have a font weight of 700, h3 will have a 600, and h4, meaning the span, will have a 500. Let me save this, and it looks something like this, which is fine. Now the info class, meaning the text info class, will have a position of absolute. And because it is a position of absolute, you won't see it, so we need a z index of, let's say, 1000. Now it's outside, it's perfect. Then let's display it as a flex with a flex direction of column. Then justify content and text align center. Now after that, we'll have a width of 100%, and then height of also 100%. And now it will look something like this. So now I want to add a frosted glass look. So I'm going to go to my glassmorphism.css. Just search for glassmorphism.css and just click on any link you like, and you will find it here. Now, for the color, go to your color and then click here. By the way, if you click here like this, it will show the hex code of that color. So I'm just going to copy the hex code, go down here, then put it here. Now, change or tweak the value around so that you can have a frosted glass that looks exactly how you want, and copy it. And down here, I'm just gonna paste it. It will look something like this, which is fine, but I don't like this border and a border radius, so I'm just going to remove both of them. And yeah, it looks perfect. Now everything might be looking a bit congested, so everything inside our text info will have a margin bottom of 1 rem. Now the paragraph might look a bit too wide, So we'll fix it up by text info, then paragraph tag, and give it a font size of 1.2 rem, then a max width of about 700 pixels. And it looks something like this. And there you have it, a great website with the help of Gsap Scrolltrigger. I hope you liked the video. Smash the like button, subscribe for more content like this, and have fun learning. So have a wonderful day, guys. Bye bye.